Hi everybody, yes, this is a wonderful day here in Hartford, Connecticut. We're live from St. Elizabeth Park. It's a lovely park, people are around, melon. The temperature is good. Here is 70 something degrees Fahrenheit, let me say that. And for my Canada peeps who are enjoying this weather too, right? We're here to do, well, I've done this demo in a long time and I just want to share with guys. And first I want to say, thanks to those who have been really looking at this and supporting it and realizing the difference of what we offer, yes, in terms of women's wellness. And I came across this roughly uh, over a year ago through a friend of mine, Wayne Hall, and it has been amazing. But my partner here now in crime is Rochelle. Rochelle is here holding the phone, and she's also gonna share her testimonial later on for persons to hear. Because hello, as a man, yeah, see, I'm holding one of our sanitary napkins, which is a moderate flow, and I'm gonna actually do what we call our wet and dry demo with it, right? And it's well packaged for ladies who you don't know about there. See, well sealed, right? Okay, and this is how the protection is. Because when you have your stuff in your bag and you don't flash it out and you see all the makeup and whatever in the bag come out on it. See, it is well sealed, right? And that's one thing you look at, the protection, right? And the first part of it is what we call biodegradable. You see, it's like tearing apart easily, right? And it doesn't harm the environment, because the environment is, is recovering itself right now because we're all on lockdown. But today we're out in our numbers. A lot of persons around here and all of that. So I'm just gonna do what we call our wet and dry demo with this. And if you notice here, you have what we call a protection, which is a leak protection guide. And remember, this is just the moderate flow, or what you ladies call it is the day, right? We actually had a challenge with the wind earlier, so we had to pour the water in, and I'm just gonna pour it back in the measuring cup to show the amount in each cup that we have. So first, this is 100 milliliter, which is more than what ladies usually dispel per month during the time of their menses, which is, 50, up to 50 milliliters. That's what the research has shown, right? So I'm gonna pour this back in this cup for a further demonstrator later. And this one is 50, right? Which I'm gonna use that in terms of our wet and dry demo, right? My table is shifting a bit here, but I'll get through with it, right? Okay, so here we go. So this is just plain water. Sometimes we use color in the water and everything, but you will see the difference with the napkin that I'm gonna use to demonstrate. So here I'm pouring all of the water out of the 50 milliliter measuring cup onto it, right? And you ladies know about that time of the month, and the amount of fluid you expel and the leakage, all of those messy stuff. Um, speaking from my daughter and wife, no longer, right? And as I said, even Rochelle will share her story later on. So what I'm gonna do is, you know, the difference with ours is we say we deal with comfort and dryness, and I add to it odorless, because there's no more odor, in terms of that time of the month. And this is absorbing all the water as we speak, because there's no run over. And if Rochelle can come a little closer to let them see if there's any spill at all on the sides or nothing like that. And it's 50 milliliter was poured into that. This strip, I'll tell you about it later on, which is a graphene strip. And it's one of the main part of making the difference with ours, with the store-bought one. These are the dual sanitary napkins and panty liners we have on display here, right? So I'm gonna put the napkin on it and ask Rochelle, even though she's holding the camera, I'm going to take it from her, and this is Rochelle, for her to press on it and to see if her hand will get wet, right? See, she's pressing down hard, okay? All right, might turn over the table now, Rochelle. All right, so I'm going to hand back. See the park? It's a beautiful park. People are just running around and everything, right? Here, Rochelle. She's my,
No
what do you call it?
text found at that
Palmer.
location.
Okay, here we go now. So I'm going to take up the napkin to show. See? Dry. So ladies out there, what you would prefer? What you prefer? Wet or dry? Tell me, wet or dry? Okay? All right, so see, the napkin is dry. All right, so further to that, what I'm gonna do is actually take this apart and show you the different layers. This is actually have 8 layers, while the ordinary napkins usually just have about, you know, 1 or 2, right? And this, our napkin have 8 layers to it. Okay, so I'm just gonna take this apart because I've done this in a long while, and the napkins have been improved each time. Through research with ladies who use it, and they give their report to the head office. The head office
Comments
takes
will
those
appear here.
reports at notes and make the improvements as they go along. And the head office is actually in Atlanta, right? And it's run by African Americans, black-owned company, right? And I'm so proud of that because the ease of the delivery too. Rochelle, when did you do your order and when did you get it?
I think I did it in sometime last week.
Yeah.
And I got it in less than 5 days.
All right. You see that? Okay, so this first layer here, look at this. This is what we call breathable. And that's what our napkin offers. And this is biodegradable material too. Okay, see? And it's breathable. Right? So, and the strip, I'm just going to take off the strip and tell you about this later on. Right? I'm going to tell you about this strip later on. And you're going to see some things happening. And this is no magic trick we're doing here. Okay? So, I'm going to take out the absorption part of it, which, you know, really it enhances the whole absorption of the in terms of the napkin, right? I remember I said this was 50 milliliters in this, and remember I had 100 in this, so I'm gonna place this in this cup which had 100 to show the extra absorption that we have, the super absorption, and continue to tell you about these strips too, right? See the protection, leak protection we have here. Again, the glue is not any hardware glue, right, that is on it to keep it, you know, on your undies or whatever, but it is one that helps in terms of the body, you know, not being harmed by any toxin, right? And talking about toxin, you know about TSS, which is toxic shock syndrome, which not only causes from, I learned that causes from tampons, it's also caused from the ordinary store-bought sanitary napkins, right? Here's this one. See, look how easy this comes apart. Biodegradable, right? And this strip, again, is breathable. It has hair holes in it, okay? It has hair holes in it, so it's breathable, okay? So while that is happening, let me show you about this now, the graphene strip. It is infused in this, and the graphene is a new technology. It's a Nobel Prize winner. There's a lot of research about it that's going about, and this helps to take away possible 99% bacteria. This helps the ladies in terms of, you know, their moodiness and everything, takes away from the cramp and all of that. It so to speak, it energizes them, yeah? And this pulls, what our napkins do is pull everything from inside the body, because that time of the month is really a cleansing, your natural cleansing, right? So I don't see why ladies would want to put a tampon to, you know, prevent that from happening. Also to sit in the wet, because you notice the absorption of ours takes it away from the body and the moodiness and everything, right? So here's this, we're talking about energy, and I'm gonna demonstrate with this light bulb. This is an ordinary 7-watt light bulb, and it's something that is portable in terms of you carrying it around, etc. Right? So here, no light, right? I'm gonna rest on a graphene strip, and you're gonna see what's happening. See that? Yeah? That's what the graphene does. It's not gonna shock you or anything. See? Right? It's a graphene strip that's doing that. Okay? And this is where the magic is, right? So that is with our bulb here. I'm gonna further do what we call the iodine test by pouring some water in this cup, right? And you're gonna see it's actually graphene also used to purify water in some parts of the world, right? And now they're researching even for the graphene to be inside or making mask, right? This is other iodine. I'm gonna pour just a little in there, right? And you're gonna see. This is the first time I'm doing this too, so I wanna see it for myself. I always seen my associate jewel ambassadors doing it. So I'm dropping the strip in there, right? You see me drop the strip in there, and I'm actually doing the shaking to get it going, right? And I hope I didn't pour too much iodine in it, because they tell me about the amount to drop in it. So I guess this is not changing for me right now, but let me get on to the other avenue, which is the actual absorption in terms of what the napkin does. Remember, I put 50 milliliters on this, and also add 100 in the cup, right? So that's 150, right? And this is just the moderate flow. Imagine the heavy flow, right? And the super heavy flow. Imagine what those can do, right? So the moderate day pad, this is what it does. And I'm gonna pour it out in my hand, and you're gonna see what happened. No water coming out. See, it's gelled, right? This is it. Absorption. Again, ladies, what you want it to be, wet or dry. Okay, right. You see that? Yeah, no water in the cup. Okay, all right. So this is what we are doing in terms of these sanitary napkins. I'm gonna, you know, repost the live further, and you're gonna have my website and Rochelle's website on it for her to share. But I'm gonna turn around and let her share her story right now for you. Okay? Yeah. So take away the mask. Take out the mask. All right. Here's Rochelle to share her story. Okay? All right. Rochelle was actually one of my first customers here in Hartford. She's a hairdresser by profession, and you know, she have her powerful story. Now she decided to be what we call a jewel ambassador, right? She's part of my associate, and she's ready to go. Actually, when I called her today last minute about coming to the park, she said yes. And she called me and asked me, where are you? You're not coming again. You changed your mind. I'm ready. So Rochelle, over to you to tell your story.
Hello everyone. As Jerome said before, my name is Rochelle. I started using the Jewel napkin roughly over a year ago. Ever since I started, my life has changed. It's never been the same. Before, when I used the shop brands, I had cramps, clotting, you name it. It was bad. But since I switched, I can firmly say that it has changed my life. I have little to no cramps at all. I use less than I would with the other store brands, and this is organic as well, which is even healthier for us females, you know. And it's very odorless too. I don't have odor. Before I did, no, I don't. Would I recommend this? Absolutely. To any and everyone who has issues with their monthly cycle, who needs to change their lives forever, Jewel is the way to go.
Okay, right. So there you had it, Rochelle sharing her story. So, guys, we're gonna have a program coming up at 5 to call Code Red. Stay tuned to my page, and we're gonna share that. You know, Code Red is another testimonial where women are talking about what these products can do, what the amazing things can do. And my daughter shared it. I have shared that video all around. You know, and I was in tears when my daughter shared her story, and I'm hearing it for the first time. So men, time to look after the women. Okay? So this is myself and Rochelle here in the park. Okay, so we'll tune in another time. All right, good guys. Thank you for joining. So stay tuned for Code Red coming up in a few minutes. Okay, thank you.